Welcome back to Underground Pulse, undergroundpulse.net. I'm your host, Jericho J.
And I'm Big Amish.
And we are chilling here with John from Seether. How you doing, man?
Doing great.
And where are you at right now?
We are actually, where are we today?
Oh.
We're in Bethlehem. See, it's one of those deals. I wake up and look on the bus, I have to look on the day sheet and see what town we're in. We're in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania.
Oh, nice, nice. How's the tour going? Are you doing all right?
Yeah, man, the tour has been great. With Papa Roach, and then our openers, Islander and King. It's an awesome lineup and a great rock show. We just played New York City last night, in fact, and it's been great. Most of the shows have been sold out or close to sell out, so
Wow.
It's been a good tour.
That's awesome to hear.
It's always good to have a very successful tour. And I'm absolutely jealous that you just played in New York because I would love to have gone with you. Now, you guys are coming down here on Tuesday to Kansas City. And how long has it been since you last visited us?
Gosh, yeah, it's been, I want to say, at least a year or maybe longer, the last festival. So it's been a while. And I can't remember the last time, or if we've, in fact, played Midland Theater. So we're looking forward to it.
Well, if you haven't, you're absolutely going to love it. It's probably my favorite venue here. It's very
Definitely.
antique looking. I think you'll enjoy it.
Yeah, I love those old places, old theaters, man. The acoustics are just great, and they sound really good, and really not a bad seat in the house as far as sound goes usually.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, man. Well, it's such a great lineup, as like you said. Unfortunately, we don't get Papa Roach, but we do get Islander and King, and those are two of our favorite bands.
Oh, for sure.
When the tour started, was that the first time that you had met those two groups?
We had actually toured with King before, and it was our request to bring them back for this run. Just a great sort of new up-and-coming band on their second album.
Mm-hmm.
And just a great three-piece band, man. They rock. They're awesome, great musicians, great players, vocals and harmonies. And anytime you combine hard rock and music with great vocals and melodies, it's something we're always into. So yeah, a couple of great bands.
That's awesome. And you guys have been around since pretty much the early thousands. So in these young bands, these up and comers, do you kind of see maybe versions of yourselves, like younger versions of Seether?
I mean, yeah, absolutely. And like, for a band like King, who we think is really good and deserves a break, we're happy to help any way we can. I mean, in the early days before Hailstorm, even had a record deal, we took those guys out. So anytime we see an opportunity to help a band, and yeah, I mean, we always wished or hoped, and there have been those opportunities along the way, those breaks that we've gotten to open for bands that have kind of helped us get our foot in the door and move up the ladder, if
Mm-hmm.
you will. So, yeah, anytime we discover a band we feel is really good and deserves the opportunity, and we're big music fans too. I mean, we don't think that opening bands should just be kind of filler stuff. I think it should be good stuff, and we take pride in the bands that we bring out on the road with us, and King has been one of those bands.
Well, that's so awesome to hear. It's really awesome that you guys support brand new music. Now, when you guys were in your younger days, when did you feel personally that you guys got your big break?
I would have to say probably, the duet with Amy Lee, the song Broken, especially internationally. I think it really opened a lot of doors for us.
Gotcha.
And that was our first sort of official European tour with supporting them and doing that song every night. So I think that was obviously a major break for us. We also supported Audio Slave
Mm-hmm.
in 2005, and then we've done a couple of tours with Nickelback. And I think in all those instances, it's definitely helped us gain new fans and kind of move up. We've done meet and greets on this run. We're doing some VIP packages where we'll meet and greet, and we'll meet people all the time. Or I saw you the first time, in fact, last night. Like the first time I saw you was, opening for Nickelback here in New York City, and I love you guys. And that's a great way to make a fan is seeing the band live. Maybe they know the music, maybe they don't, but we go out there and try to win them over, and if we do, that's a pretty awesome thing.
Right on, man.
It's funny you said that because the first time I saw you guys was on the Nickelback tour with Saving Abel.
Did you hear that, John?
I'm sorry?
I said that's funny you said that because the first time I saw you guys was with Nickelback and Saving Abel.
Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, I mean, we did a couple of tours with them that I think really, I mean, yeah, were a big help to us. You know, I think looking when we were doing it, we were like, are we doing it to golf class? Are we really a band that's, you know, sitting on this tour? And then to turn around and realize actually that we made a lot of fans and, you know, got some exposure that we didn't otherwise expect is a pretty cool thing.
For sure.
When you were starting out as a musician, did you ever think that you would be where you are today?
No, absolutely not. I guess, you know, we've been very driven. I think the work ethic of Seether has always been, you know, take nothing for granted, and we've had to fight and claw for every step. I mean, but to be a rock band, to still be around, you know, 12 years plus, still making new music, people that care to even know about that new music and come to these shows, I think it is amazing. But what I thought 12 years ago that the band would still be, you know, gosh, I would have prayed it would have, but it's definitely a dream come true to still be able to do this. So, I mean, I just love playing music, and in my case, I'm the drummer. I love playing drums and playing in this band, and everything's been icing on the cake, and it's great that we're still around. You know, it's great.
Absolutely. I mean, you guys have just taken the, you know, the old saying, you either have to be a chameleon and transform with the times or die with them. And with that, you guys have Isolate and Medicate, the brand new album out. What's your favorite song off of that?
Oh, gosh, man. That changes, you know, week to week. I love a song on there called Crash. I love a song on there called Save Today. Words as Weapons being the first single, I think it was like a new sort of style of song for us, sort of a new sound, and I thought for that. And it's got some pretty cool drums on it, right? So
yeah, absolutely. Now, I'm sure you've heard this question a lot, but, you know, there's been some speculation that Words as Weapons sounds very similar to Mad World. What do you have to say about that?
Yeah, I didn't get that connection at all, you know, and I'm definitely into a lot of old school music, and I really didn't pick up on that connection. I mean, it was pointed out to us, and I've obviously have seen a lot of the comments online and what have you about those correlations, but you know, I wouldn't say we're big Tears for Fears fans. So perhaps subliminal, you know, I guess a good riff is a good riff, but yeah, definitely nothing intentional, you know.
Right on.
All right, cool. So with you guys progressing and putting out all these albums, how do you guys decide what makes the set list for a show or what doesn't? Do you guys keep it the same for every show, or do you like to change it up?
Yeah, we like to change it up if we can. I mean, there's a couple of alternates on the set list, but, you know, again, being a band for as long as we've been, we've got a lot of singles, a lot of songs that some people in some cases been waiting 1 or 2 years to hear. Mm-hmm. And you want to be able to please everybody. And we're playing roughly an hour, maybe just a little over. So, you know, we're trying to play everything. We're playing some new cuts and some of the, you know, a couple of the newer cuts, not necessarily singles for the hardcore fans. So you try to please everybody, but it definitely is hard to pick a set list. And to get everything in there. We'll always get requests all the time. But there's a couple that will alternate. But right now we have a couple of new songs from the new album, My Disaster and Save Today. One of the other songs I mentioned being one of my favorites from the album that we're playing in the set right now.
Very cool.
Cool. Do you have a song that you wish you guys could play more often live?
Oh, God. You know, maybe, you know, there's a song off Karma and Effect. It's just a great straight-ahead rock song called I'm the One. Yes. You know, there's some of those tracks that, you know, again, I think we could easily play a 2-hour plus set on a headlining show. And we've done that. We were in Europe before Christmas, and we were doing hour and a half, almost 2-hour shows. And any chance you can kind of do some of those deeper cuts, those are fun. But people always ask me, like, do I get bored of playing the singles night after night? And, you know, I really don't. You try to keep them fresh, and you have fun playing them and getting out there and hoping you don't mess it up, screw it up. And we always have fun out there, and I enjoy playing the songs. And some of them we've played literally thousands of times.
Wow. Now, John, I know as the drummer, you know, sometimes you're on a really high riser, which I expect you are mostly, but, you know, mainly like the guitarists and the singers, we'll get to see more of the crowd. But as your view of the crowd, what's your favorite thing to see fans doing?
I don't know. I try to look out there and make eye contact. You know, when you see somebody in the front row that's just mouthing every lyric to every song, they know it inside and out. They're air drumming the parts. They're air guitaring. I mean, that's pretty awesome to see. You know, somebody that's just so into the band. You know, and you know, we feed off that energy. When you see people like that out there, their eyes closed, arms in the air, and they're just like in another place. And that's where you try to go too when you're playing live. At least I do. And yeah, it's, you know, it's a great thing to see a fan or a person that's so into your music. You know.
Right on. Now, what's your favorite way to reach out to your fans? Do you like Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, handwriting letters?
Gosh, you know, we've been doing recently the Ask Me Anything sessions, the AMA sessions, and I've done them on Twitter a couple of times. And I think that's cool, you know, to be able to. I'm online usually an hour or two, and fans can, you know, ask you questions right there and get direct responses. And, you know, you try to get back to everybody. Everybody, you know, they want to know an inspiration for a song, to what cover song we're thinking about doing next, to, you know, what's the tour bus smell like? You know, it's pretty diehard fans who get a chance you get to interact with directly. And that's something that's kind of new to the business. Social media is such at the forefront of it all now, and it's something that we're still learning to sort of get, you know, into and interactive with. But the Ask Me Anything sessions, I think I like. Those are pretty cool.
Awesome. I'm going to have to check those out. I haven't been involved in one of those yet, but that sounds like a blast.
Yeah.
Now I just got a couple more questions for you, and this is personal for me. I think one of my favorite things about Seether is your guys' music videos. I mean, you guys just do all kinds of creative scenarios and landscapes and stuff. So I had to ask, you guys have a lot of creative control in the direction of your music videos?
You know, yes and no. And actually, we're very proud of Same Damn Life, the most recent video. And that's sort of for us, you know, was rectifying a previous situation. We had a couple of directors and management had put to us for Words as Weapons, the first video from the album. We had kind of bigger hopes for how that one was going to come out. That ended up being sort of more of a performance video. So with Same Damn Life, we're with the great label Concord, allowed us to pick our own director and to work, you know, and if you've seen it, the sort of the humorous side of the band. And I think anytime we do those kind of videos like Country Song or Fake It, I think, you know, a rock band doesn't always have to be dark and ominous all the time, you know. We like to laugh and have a good time, too. And so Same Damn Life, we're in makeup for 3.5, 4 hours each. And they're in true Hollywood-style makeup. And so we had a lot of creative control over the most recent video. And, you know, and Sean obviously has a lot of input. And even, you know, the artwork for the album, you know, it's all done at the band's discretion and input.
That's great. And I was actually going to ask you about how long you guys had to sit in makeup for Same Damn Life. Did you guys actually, like, feel as old as you were looking? Like, did you get a glimpse into the future?
Yeah, I mean, the makeup was amazing. You couldn't help but sort of, like, fall into the part. I mean, when each of us came out of the trailer looking at one another, we were just amazed. I mean, what they can do. Yeah, with makeup, you know, and latex and airbrushing, even age spots and the veins, and I mean, it was just amazing. Those guys, I mean, they're truly artists, amazing artists, and yeah, we were looking to each other, and so you couldn't help but sort of punch over a little bit and groan, and I mean, yeah, you know, you fit right into the part. You definitely became that, you know. It was a lot of fun. It was great.
Well, one of my biggest hopes for you guys is I hope you are as energetic and charismatic as those characters when you get into that old age. Heck, I hope you're still touring at that old age. So, all right, I got one more question for you, and it's this is basically just you as a drummer. What are some not to do's as a professional drummer on tour?
You know, one thing I've always prided, you know, is no one likes a drunk drummer. I mean, that's just kind of I don't know, a credo for me. You know, a guitar player, a singer, they can drink and kind of get away with it. A drummer has to keep the beat, has to keep the time. Nothing worse than a drunk drummer is what I always say, and the beat's like all over the place. You know, you really can't feel the music. So unfortunately, a lot of guys can get away with it. But a drunk drummer, It's sloppy. It doesn't sound cool. It isn't cool at all. So that would be probably my one you can't do. I would say save the party, which I do in many cases for after the show.
Absolutely.